What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Must Have Wheels Garage. If you watched my last video, I did say I wanted to do a review on my 4x4 drag car. So we're gonna dive right into that. Turn this sucker on. I just wanted to show you some of the details that I got done to the body here. So we always start by racing in daylight, but we end up getting carried away, and it takes us on into the night and we can't see nothing. So it's good to know what direction you're facing at least. So I did go ahead and install some custom LED lights. I got them on the front and the back. I did use a little light module that I got from eBay that plugs in line with the receiver, and it does allow me to switch the lights on and off. It even gives you this blinking function, which I do not use, but it is cool that you can turn it on and off remotely. For whatever reason, there's 4 clicks to make an input, but it does work. Anyways, we'll go over the rest of the details in the body as well. I always do my stripes with vinyl wrap. A couple of reasons. One, it does look legit. If you see these trucks, these 1-to-1 scale, the real trucks, they come with factory vinyl wrap on the hood, so I wanted to keep that same look. Also, it does add a little bit of reinforcement around the body posts. That's good too. These Nerf bars, these were actually inspired by Arrma. I did steal their idea, made it my own. These are RPM. I don't remember if they're toe or camber links for the 2-wheel drive slashes. So I'll show you on the inside of the body what I did as well. I doubled them up and I put a nut and bolt. So at least if it does roll over, it'll save the roof from getting destroyed. And these hopefully will take the majority of the damage. The bed, I vinyl wrapped just this part here. The inside is Gorilla Tape. The reason why I did Gorilla Tape is it's super strong, and this is a big weak point on these bodies. I always end up breaking the bed, pushing the body post right through the bed, and then the body is pretty much useless unless you want to start shoe gooing and drywall taping it from the inside. So yeah, we're gonna get this body off and I'll show you what's going on underneath. Oh, so as you can see, that's my custom LED kit. It's nothing crazy, it does a job. The lights all work. And so these are the pretty much factory ones. Can't remember, like I said, camber or toe links. I used RPMs on the top side just because they're black and matches the theme of the truck. Now, these GRP tires, I love that it leaves a mess like that in the wheel well. It looks so legit, even caked on the side of the bed over there. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick that up, but it just looks so legit. So that's pretty much it for the body. This was that little light module I was talking about. They're like $5 or $6 Canadian on eBay. You plug this in line with the LEDs, so you plug this directly into the receiver in whatever channel that you want to control from the remote, and then this end obviously goes into the LEDs. It's got 2 ports, so you can plug in front and rear separately if you'd like, or you can put a light bar or whatever you guys want to do. Let me shut this off. For the remote, this usually is my go-to. FlySky FS GT5. When I bought it, it was super cheap. It was on eBay. I bought it for 80 bucks Canadian, and it came with a receiver. There's so many functions on this remote. Traction control, or sorry, stability control, ABS, crawler mode. There's been a lot of reviews on these remotes. You can definitely YouTube that and watch videos on that. I'm not going to get into the remote too much. We're going to focus on the car today. So we'll start from the front and we'll work our way back. This is a stock Traxxas Rally bumper. These body posts are not being used, obviously. We're using the Pro Lines for the Ram body. I have a bunch of weight stacked up in the front just to hold the front end down. I was having the thing lift up just about half track. So this definitely did help keep the weight down on the front end. For suspension, I'm using GTRs front and rear. They're not limited at all. They're full length. They're just laid all the way down. And it actually gave me the ride height I was looking for. So we're leaving it like that for now. It does have all the factory upgrades at all four corners. So you got the bearing carriers front and back, and the caster blocks. For drive shafts, I am running the Traxxas HDs. Now, guys, if you guys are running bashers, I do not recommend these drive shafts. The axles are super weak. I feel like I used to break these more than I broke the stock plastic shafts. They wouldn't break at the U-joints. At the outer or inner part, they would literally snap right off at the axle, and you'd be chasing your wheel down the street. But on the drag car, there are no jumps, so they've seemed to be holding up so far. If I do start having problems with them, I'll probably end up upgrading to MIPs. Those are my go-to for bashers. But anyways, moving forward, for tires, we're using GRPs. They look great. The wheels are super flexible, so they do take pretty good impacts. Only issue with the GRPs is they usually need to be balanced. If you're looking for speed run or even drag racing, you want the car to be as stable as possible. You want the wheels to be planted as much as possible. So I'm not sure if you guys can see the Gorilla Tape on the inside of the rim. There you go. I actually used little steel washers to balance them out. I put them on the front of a two-wheel drive and found the low spot is usually the heavy spot, so you put the weight on the opposite end. I might do a video on how I balance my wheels later on, so if you guys are interested, let me know and I'll post up a video on that. It does make a big difference. So this is not your average slash chassis. We'll get into that a little bit later. We'll just move on to the back for now. So the back is literally the same as the front, stock length GTRs, Traxxas HD shafts. I made a custom wheelie bar with parts I had lying around. These are from a TRX4. I converted my TRX4 from long wheelbase to short wheelbase. So these were the links that I'd removed from the long wheelbase setup. And I just kind of rigged something together here. It works really good. It's super strong. You can lift the car from it. It does have a little bit of twist to it, but I haven't found that it affected any performance. So it's going to stay. I think it looks sweet. It's different than every other drag car that's out there running, you know, your standard STRC or Traxxas wheelie bar, whatever. I wanted something different. And it is tunable. If you want, you can get different size links, or you can get different style links that have more adjustment, where you can actually thread the rod in and out, and it'll either lengthen it or shorten it. This STRC shock tower, I probably never would have bought it myself because the factory ones do the job, but it came with the car. I bought the car as a roller. I recently put these RPM arms front and rear on. They had the Traxxas heavy duty cold weather arms on there, and they were super flexible. So like you can literally grab this wheel and just wobble it front and back. So I took those off and I put these on. There's a lot less play at both connection points, and there's a lot less flex. Now they do flex a lot still, and I might want to get into changing them with aluminum ones, and I'll explain why in a bit. Now for the chassis, this is a chassis made by Shining Star. Check them out. They do make a pretty nice product. This is the older model, I believe. I'm pretty sure they have a newer style chassis out. I can't remember the model of this chassis. It's an SSC10 or something like that. But check out Shining Star on just put them in Google and you'll find it. If I can find the link, I'll attach it in the description below, and you guys can just click on the link from there. But the chassis is great. You can jam some really big gears on there without having to put a top motor mount. So I do like it for that, and it is really light. Only issue with this chassis is you're limited with battery size. Like I had to shoehorn this 6-cell HRB in there. It's super tight in there, but it's all good. It does the job. It works. These are VG Racing springs. I forgot to mention that when we covered the suspension. And this is also a VG Racing center chassis brace. Not necessary. I like it. I don't want a lot of flex in this chassis with drag racing. If it was an off-road truck and I'm taking it to the track, I'd like the flex, but not for what I'm doing. I got a STRC adjustable steering bell crank in the front. That's definitely a must. If you're putting this kind of power into one of these cars, you want to get rid of most of the slop in the front end as much as you can anyways. Steering servo stock. The car is meant to go straight, so I'm not going to bother upgrading this. That's a FlySky receiver. It's a 6-channel receiver. I am using a little capacitor just to back up the receiver. Again, not necessary, a little bit overkill, but I had it, I threw it in. The ESC, I'm running a Mamba Monster X. This thing's a absolute beast, especially for this car. It's so light that it's almost overkill. This is a Castle 2400 kV censored motor. I'm obviously not running the censored wire in there because the ESC is not censored. But a lot of guys will tell you can't run these on 6-cell. And literally, guys, I put this fan on there just because I had it, not because I need it. This motor, I can do 10 passes back to back, and this thing will not even be warm, and that's not even exaggeration. Same thing with the ESC. They're super efficient. I thought this motor was going to get steaming hot doing what I'm doing with it, but it's been holding up great. Again, I'm not geared to the moon. I believe it's a 2050. So it is a little bit conservative, but I'm probably topping out at about 70 something miles. The car in the 132 feet is doing a 2.30. That's my best time with this car so far. And I'm finishing at anywhere between 58 and 63 miles an hour in 132 feet. So the car is moving good. And we're using an HRB 5000 milliamp. It's 100C burst, 50C constant. That's what's powering the beast. So like I said, I was going to go back to the whole aluminum control arm thing. So what I'm having now, the car, as soon as I go full throttle, which probably happens at about half track, she's literally bouncing up and down. You can tell it's struggling to figure out which wheels it wants to send traction to, front and rear. So it's definitely costing me some time on the track. I still do think that these control arms are flexing a little bit too much for my liking. So first, I'm probably going to mess around with some shock oil to try to absorb that. If that doesn't fix it, I'm probably going to end up upgrading to aluminum lower control arms. But we'll see. But anyways, that's pretty much a setup, guys. If you have any questions, throw them up in the comments below, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and post them up. I'd appreciate that. Guys, please like, subscribe, share, and hit me up on Instagram at MustHaveWheels. Lots of RC content, updated a lot more frequently than my YouTube page. So give me a follow. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.
Dylan with the two-hand burnout. Fuck, eh?
I gotta get the front end.
I red lighted. It started? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now.
See that fucking